Okay, we're gonna start doing salsa. I like to do pretty much everything. Most of what I do in the food processor, even the bread, I make in the food processor. You know, I didn't start cooking till I was 49, right? I'm 59. And nobody taught me how to cook, so I don't know how people cook, you know. So I just started. I wanted to do everything. I do everything fast, and I say, oh well, the food processor will help. I don't like to chop. So I just put everything there. So we have here for the salsa, we have 3 cups of tomatoes. So you make chunks of the tomato, and then 1 small onion, no, half an onion. So just put in chunks. And then I have 1/4 cup of bell pepper. You know, if you do yellow bell pepper, it will give nice color. And then we have the cilantro had to be chopped by hand, otherwise this doesn't chop well. So you chop the cilantro by hand, and you mix it everything. So this is for people that don't like to spend much time cooking. Imagine doing bread on food processor. That was a little off, but okay. So then we're gonna put almost a teaspoon of salt. Let's see, I'm just gonna put a teaspoon of salt. And we squeezed this lemon last night, so it's fresh.
How many lemons?
I will put about one lemon. So about this is 1 teaspoon, so I'm gonna put 3 teaspoons, make 1 tablespoon, right? And I start from there. And then you taste it, and then you adjust it. So this is ready. And you make salsa in no time. Let's see, this is, you pulse it. You don't wanna make a smoothie. You just wanna pulse it. So that's your knife. This is very potent. It really makes it so fast. I mean, the salsa is almost done. So I just adjusted things here. Buy a very good, Cuisinarts are always good. I like this. If you buy the ones in Walmart, they don't last. I bought 2 of them and they break. It's ready. This is excellent food processor, see? And your salsa is ready. Okay, so we're done with this recipe. It can get easier than that, right? Okay. And remember, we don't use anything processed because we want to be sure that we're eating the healthiest ever. If we want to maintain good health, if we're going to recover, or if we just want to look good when we get older. Okay, now we're going to go for our cream. Okay, for the cream, veggie cream. Okay, we got this done last night because, you know, we want to do everything fast. So we have 1 tablespoon of onion, fresh onion, and this is not liquid, right? So you can put in plastic. When it's liquid, you don't want to put in plastic. So 1 tablespoon of fresh onion, organic fresh onion, 1 clove of organic garlic, and then 1/4 of bell pepper. And we're gonna put soaked sunflower seed, right? And rinse really well because we wanna remove the lectins and the anti-nutrients. So 1 cup made it almost 2 cups. So we're gonna add that.
How long do you soak it?
We did it overnight, but you can sprout it for 24 to 48 hours. The longer, the better. And we have, it should be about 1 tablespoon, but we're not gonna put lemon. You know why? Because we put too much lemon to the other stuff we did. So when we mix it, it's gonna be just right. But you will put like a 1 tablespoon of lemon and then adjust. And then we're gonna add 1 teaspoon of salt and water. So I'm going to start with 1/2 cup. And then you adjust it to the consistency that you would like. Maybe. Okay, we'll see. This is very handy to do it, otherwise it takes forever. Okay, so we might want to cover your, this is gonna be noisy. So this is ready. Yeah, we can add it to the other cream that's in the refrigerator. Okay, so easy, right? Okay, we didn't have to use oil or any. Okay, because we don't use veggie or let's see, ketchup or meat, gluten meat, lost meat, all those processed food. We didn't use any we didn't use any processed food. So everything is from scratch, but we try to make it simple at the same time. But we always adjust the flavor. So you can put different type of herbs. We have a recipe in the book that is, it's called Super Antioxidant Seasoning. It's in the book. It has all these herbs that are super high antioxidants. So it tastes that good that you can just shake it to any food that you're eating. The kids love it. They just shake it to their beans or to their salad, and then you get a lot of antioxidants that way. Very simple way. Okay, so we're done with that. We're gonna move to show you how to do bread. Okay, this is, every time we change it a little bit to make it things easier. So for that, I'm going to need the food processor. Okay, remember, it took us many years to develop a good bread. And the first bread was like a brick, right? At that time, I wouldn't even cook. My mom had to come up with some type of bread, and it was just like a brick, and my husband always drop it on the table and laugh at it. But I didn't care. I just worked really hard to chew it because, you know, I grew up with bread. So I was trying to develop a good recipe. So I was determined. I bought all kind of flours just to practice, of the flours with no grains, because this bread is grainless, is flourless, and is all the less plus all the pluses, like it's organic and it's sprouted and all that. So so I was determined I was gonna find a good bread. So for 1 month I worked hard, and every day was trying. And you know, the bread making in here was just because I didn't want to waste some type of dough that I messed up. I said, I'll try to do something. So I just put it in there and I'll work with it later. So I added some things, and all of a sudden, wow, that bread is even better. So that's what I started doing in here. And so after a month, I came up with a bread that was super, the consistency was perfect and was grand. I mean, it's just perfect in the texture and everything else. So, okay, we have a bread, we're gonna put it in the market. So we're very excited about it. But then we found out the yeast was still a problem. So we found out the culture of the yeast is made out of wheat. So, that would not work for us because we want to give the best chance for people to get better, right? So, couldn't do it with wheat. So, okay, that was out of, all that hard work, just did it. So we had to come up with a new bread. So we started playing up with this new bread recipe. And, sometimes turns like amazing. The bread is just like a fluffy and just perfect. Sometimes doesn't come out that way. But so you have to practice and, until. So, but we're gonna show you. Okay, we have 2.5 cups of buckwheat we soaked last night. And then you have to rinse it really well because when you soak buckwheat, it's gonna be so thick. So you have to rinse and rinse and rinse till, otherwise it's not gonna sprout it. This is not sprout because we didn't have enough time. Well, it is sprout a little bit. You can see the tails because it's been all morning trying to sprout. So we are going to...
That'll sprout that quick?
Yeah, buckwheat sprouts very fast.
Wow. So it's 2.5 cups dry?
2.5 cups dry. So we are going to process because see, we don't, it's flourless, right? And it's not a grain, this is a pseudo grain. And we do the same thing with quinoa. Okay. This is very simple also. So before we used to sprout it, soak, sprout it, dehydrate it in the dehydrator, and then make a flour and then make a bread. So this is so simple, right? You skip in so many steps. So that's why I like this recipe because you don't have to be making flour.
Can you freeze that?
You can. This? I've never done it.
Later and use it?
Never done it. You can freeze the bread, but I don't know if this will work. You should try it. It might work. There's a good question, because every time I change it and I confuse my friend every time. So, so she's asking me, you don't do it in the blender anymore? I may even put it in the blender, but it's just so hard going like this. And so if I do quinoa, I do have to do in the blender because it doesn't grind it well. So for quinoa, I still do in the blender. Okay, it's almost done. Yeah, this is just buckwheat right now. Yeah. I make this bread before coming here for my trip. I super enjoy it. For flying, I ate olives, bread, and avocado for lunch.
Every time I see her, she's like, I made the best bread this time. It just came out perfect. So fluffy, so perfect.
You want to come live with us?
I know.
So this is kind of like a dough, right? You see, it's a dough. Yeah. So it's all in the consistency. If you make it so watery, it's gonna be doughy inside. But if you do the consistency just right, it's gonna be perfect bread. Okay, here's the sunflower seed that we soaked last night, and we washed really well this morning.
How much did you?
This is 1 cup, dry.
And the buckwheat was dry also, right? You
Yeah,
soaked it,
yes, yes.
But you put it in the
You know, at home I usually use dry because I always have, when I get my fatty acid seeds and my, nuts that I eat now, I soak 5 pounds and then I dry 5 pounds and I save it and keep it in my freezer. So I always have ready to do anything. I make butter, make bread, make all kind of things. So it's easier that way for me, but we just, this should be okay too.
So it's 2.5 cups of buckwheat and 1 cup of sunflower seeds.
Okay, so we're gonna grind it. So since I'm going to grind this, I can mix it. I shouldn't mix them. You have to put some honey. So
You want another measure?
Mercy.
a spoon.
Plastic needs to be taken off.
Where are the spoons?
Okay, so it's gonna take 1 teaspoon of salt.
Mercy, do you want a spoon?
Yeah. And 2 tablespoons of honey. So this is not measured, so I'm just gonna calculate it.
Can you use dates?
No, you can just put that whole thing of honey in there.
You could, but it'll be hard to grind it. You wanna make like a, bread, not chunks. You don't want chunks in your bread. So you can use coconut sugar. We use coconut sugar. This is just so easy. And that's it. That's all the ingredients. Isn't it easy? Oh, 1 second. We're gonna add the flax seed. If without the flax seed, it won't work. Okay.
How much flaxseed?
I put 1 cup of grounded flax seed. So in the book, I think Sherry make the bread from the book. It's more work. You have to make flour and all that. But with this, it's just so simple. I make like 3 batches at a time, so I have bread for 2 weeks. It doesn't last that long because we eat it. But
So if you join the plant-based gut health group on Facebook, we'll a lot of times post new videos, new recipes, that kind of thing, and improvements in the recipes, that kind of stuff.
the flaxseed gives a good flavor to the bread. Okay, this is almost ready. I think it's ready.
What do you need?
Anybody, do you have gloves here?
Gloves.
Cooking gloves? Okay, so we're gonna add it to the dough. You guys know, do we have gloves or not in the kitchen?
Eric's looking right now.
Okay. Because they're familiar with everything that goes in the kitchen. Okay. Okay, so this is the dough, so we're gonna mix it, but it's kind of a little hard. So it's so easy just to do with the hands and just finish it. But this might need a little liquid.
Oh, Mercy, they don't have any.
Okay, so. See, it's kind of hard to mix it. So, because I need to add still flaxseed. So I'm going to add a little water. At home I will do my hands really fast. You know, maybe I should do it with my hands since it's gonna go in the oven anyway.
You need a cup of this?
Yeah. So mix Okay, this is well mixed.
You want to use a Ziploc bag? Stick it in.
Oh, good idea. Wow.
Okay, can we just use this one?
Yeah, this one. Yeah. So we're gonna put 1 cup of flax seed.
Mercy? You want to use these as gloves?
Okay, so we're gonna start spreading this. Yeah. You know, this is such a good idea. You can use this as a gloves. You guys are, I'm getting a lot of good tips.
If anybody's
From
got
you
their
guys.
windows down, you might want to put them up real quick. Looks like there's a storm getting ready to blow in.
Okay, this is a very good consistency, so it's very important that it's not too oily, too rich. Okay, so now we're going to, I usually put a parchment paper, but I forgot today. Have water with a spatula, some sort of spatula. So you're going to depending how the size of the bread that you like to have it. And then you're gonna shape it. Sorry. That's why the parchment paper, you can just gather everything. Sometimes my grandbaby help me and she does that.
In the cookbook you use potato, is that right? With
Yeah. In the cookbook is much.
Potato and plantain.
potato plantain? Okay.
It's more complicated.
More complicated.
I think that
Some are easier, but we don't do those anymore.
You don't make it with the potato or plantain anymore?
No,
I
it's
think
very
there's
good,
more,
but
more ingredients.
Just more time,
More ingredients. So
Okay.
you have to cook the potato.
more simple, yeah.
This one is just like a couple ingredients.
yeah, this is good for the kids. You can have a lot of fun.
Do they make a supersized Cuisinart, or is that as big as it gets?
This one seems small. We usually use I use the 13 cup.
Oh, okay.
This one seems like a 9.
Okay, I think we ready to spread it, to shape it. So I usually use a spatula and then I'll just shape it. I just take my time to shape it because I want the bread looking nice.
Could one use an ice cream scooper?
It's sticky.
It's sticky.
Yeah. Yeah, whatever it takes to give a good shape.
So it's easier than bread with yeast, because you don't
You
have to
could also-
wait for it to
Shape
rise
it with
and
your
all
hands.
that. Yeah, you can shape it with your hands.
Yeah, you can shape it with your hands. That might be easier, depending on the consistency. I think this will work very well if you shape it with your hands.
And how high will the oven be?
Okay, so we're gonna do 400, and we can leave it and cook after the tortillas are warm. And 400 degrees for
Or
35 minutes to 40 minutes. Let me try. So I think depending on the texture, see, that'll be much faster. Put some flour in your hand and be easier also. Sometimes too sticky, so you cannot do it with your hands. But this is fine. Whatever makes it easier.
What kind of flour do you put on your hands?
I would use arrowroot
Oh, arrowroot.
or quinoa. Sometimes I make quinoa for making tortillas. You have to, for the tortillas, if you want to do it yourself, you have to make, it won't work doing something like this. It has to be flour.
for what? For the tortilla?
For tortilla, you have to make flour.
Okay.
So if you have leftover that flour, you can use it.
But isn't it nice you can just soak everything the night before and just do it and blend it up? Makes it very convenient.
Yeah, no yeast. No yeast, no flour, no grain. Okay. Okay, at the end of the meal, we can have you taste. Isn't it an unusual way to make bread?
Can you make it just one big loaf?
You can.
But it'd be kind of difficult
Yes.
to cook all the way through, I think.
Yeah. But people have done it. If you do a small layer. Okay, so it's ready. So it's gonna go to bake. See, it's not too bad, right?
No.
It looks like it's heavy, very concentrated nutrients. So you don't want to eat more than half or one.
Half of one.
Half or one.
Oh.
It is concentrated. It's gonna fill you up. You know, we went last time to the house of Andrew, and so we made bread. They wanna make bread, so we made bread at the house. And he said, "Well, for Sabbath they ate it for breakfast." I said, "Oh, I wasn't hungry at all," because usually they get hungry.
And this is the thing: if you want to gain weight, this is something good to eat. If you want to gain weight.
Also, if you want to lose weight, because it's a lot of fiber. You know, the thing is that when you want to have good health, this food is going to do it just right. So you lose or you gain because, you know, because it's a lot of fiber, so you're just going to retain what you need. And if you need to gain, then you're going to increase weight also. Yeah. Okay, so we're done. We're going to give you a few minutes to have a break, and we're going to start serving. Okay, so the tortillas, what we're doing is we're warming up in the oven, covering up with a towel, wet towel, warming up the tortillas. So we're gonna start serving in few minutes, okay? Yeah, a little bit of that. The salsa has to be garlic.
I just came here for my lips. size then.
Let's see. I'm gonna make a space for.
I'm gonna lay this right behind you.